Yeah.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Ala's World of Finance. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I hope you're having a great weekend. In today's video, we're gonna do a weekly update for the stock market week. And if you're new to these videos, I use these as an opportunity to give quick opinions on a lot of different stocks. And we kind of just cover the numbers really quickly. And some of the stocks that we're going to be covering in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the stocks that I'm most heavily invested in and the 3 stocks that I mentioned that I'm buying in June. We're also going to talk a lot about a few trendy stocks. We're going to cover definitely some tech stocks, some technology stocks, because on Friday we had the whole tech sell-off, so we're going to address that a little bit. And we're also going to cover a few stocks that may be interesting to watch because of E3. So E3 is this gaming event and it's taking place today, which is Saturday, and then on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. So we'll look at some of those stocks as well. And then finally, I just want to mention, I have in my journal here because I ran out of space, just a couple financial and energy stocks, and we can run through those quickly, like less than 20 seconds. It'll be very quick. But the reason I want to cover those as well is because we had the whole technology sell-off on Friday, and a lot of people have been really interested in it and trying to figure out what's going on exactly. And I'm interested in it as well. So I've been reading a lot of articles. I can't even remember how many articles I've read, but I read a lot of stuff about it. And I was looking at what a lot of different financial firms and analysts, research firms and stuff like that, what they're saying. So it looks like, from what I read, it looks like a lot of investors were heavily invested in these high momentum tech stocks, these tech stocks that are doing very well, have been doing very well. And they were kind of just ready to sell and cash in their profits. So anything that could kind of trigger a little sell-off, that was gonna snowball a little bit into a sell-off. And this wasn't really a correction. It was more of just like a sell-off or like a dip, because the correction would be a little bit bigger. But what actually triggered the sell-off, so some people are debating a little bit about what actually triggered the sell-off. Some people think that it's because Nvidia took a hit and that kind of triggered the sell-off. Some people think that it's Goldman Sachs, because they were saying that you should be very cautious about tech stocks right now, but they were actually bullish on tech stocks like a few days ago. So I don't know how much weight I put into that. And then some people are also saying that there's a rotation going on from the technology sector into like financial and energy stocks. So that's why I kind of want to cover those a little bit as well. But overall, my opinion on it, I don't think it's too big of a deal. I'm more of a long-term investor, and I invest with money that I don't really need at the moment. So I like it when there's little dips. It kind of gives me a chance to pick up some stocks that I'm really interested in, or pick up more of the ones I already own. But this could continue on Monday. Now, I do think that there will be a little bit of a rally, because I think that so many investors wanted to invest in these companies, but they were priced so high that they were probably going to wait for a dip. And now that there's a dip, I feel like a lot of investors are going to try to take advantage of the dip, and that might cause a little bit of a rally. But I could be completely wrong. It could actually continue to drop on Monday. We'll have to wait and see. We can't predict the future. We'll have to wait and see on Monday and see what happens for the rest of the week, and see how that goes. But anyway, I don't think it's too big of a deal, just my own personal opinion, but we'll have to wait and see. And I did pick up a couple stocks on Friday because I wanted to take advantage of the dip. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to say the exact percentage numbers for the week numbers, but the other numbers I'll be rounding, because I don't want to bombard you guys with a bunch of numbers and a bunch of decimal percentages and things like that. All right, so let's start with the 3 stocks that I said I was buying for June. So Nintendo, AMD, and Disney. Nintendo is my biggest stock right now. I still think it's a great stock, but we've recently been learning that they may not be coming out with a Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch, at least not this year. Now, I still definitely think that they will come out with one by next year. So I think long-term Nintendo is still a good stock, but we also have to wait and see what happens at E3. And I have this like horrible feeling in my stomach that Sony is going to come out at E3 and they're going to announce a PlayStation Portable. And I really hope that that doesn't happen. I know like most people don't think it's going to happen. I definitely don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, I think it would really hurt Nintendo stock. So I'm like hoping that that does not happen. But anyway, Nintendo, yeah, been doing pretty well. Green across the board. For the week, they are up 1.56%. In 1 month's time, they're up 19%. 3 months up 43%, and then year to date up 48%. So doing very well. And by the way, I'm going to pay close attention to E3. They'll be presenting on Tuesday. And depending on what they announce and depending how E3 goes, I'm gonna have to reevaluate the stock and reanalyze it. I'll try to give you guys an update, but there is a possibility that I could be selling Nintendo stock depending on what happens at E3, but I will have to reanalyze because, you know, things can always change with stocks. But so far I'm still bullish on Nintendo stock, my own opinion. All right, AMD. I'm also bullish on AMD. I actually picked up a few more shares on Friday because it took a little bit of a dip as well. And for the week, they're actually still up because they were doing well. They were doing really good for the week, and then they took a dip on Friday, but they were still doing so well that they're still up. So for the week, they're up 12.66%. In 1 month's time, up 9%. 3 months, down 12% because they had that big dip there. And year to date, they are up 8% because they were up still a lot. And AMD has a lot of really good products coming out. I'm actually thinking about purchasing the Threadripper when that comes out because I want to build a PC from scratch. And if you guys want me to film that and show that, you know, I'd be more than happy to, but just let me know. I know most of you guys care just about stocks, so you may not want that video, but I do plan on building a PC from scratch, and, you know, I think it might be kind of fun to film it or something. But anyway, now the next one that we're going to talk about is Disney. And Disney hasn't been doing too well lately. They've actually been dropping quite a bit. But I'm actually kind of happy because Disney is a stock that I really like, and they've been priced pretty high. So now I think it's kind of a nice dip to pick up some Disney stock, just my opinion. But I think of Disney as a really good household name. I don't really ever see them going out of business or anything like that. They're such a well-run company. They do have a lot of good stuff. They obviously have some issues with ESPN and stuff like that, but they're addressing it. And they have some great movies coming out with all the Marvel movies, all the Star Wars movies. Here in California, it seems like everybody I know has a Disney pass for Disneyland. So maybe my opinion is a little biased in that sense. But anyway, I do like Disney, just my own opinion. For the week, they are up 1.46%. In 1 month's time, for the week, they are down 1.46%. In 1 month's time, they are down 4%. And then in 3 months' time, they're down 5%. Year to date, they are actually up around 1%. BlackBerry is a stock that I really like, and especially for the cheaper stocks, BlackBerry is one that I really like, but they have been up a lot already. So you have to wonder if you may have missed the boat a little bit because they are up a lot, but I still do like them. I'm still bullish on BlackBerry. But for the week, they are down 2.3%. In 1 month's time, they're up 18%. 3 months' time, they're up 61%, and then year to date, they're up 60%. So they've been doing very well. Activision Blizzard, I just made a video on them a little while ago, and I think right now they're one of my favorite gaming stocks. And on Friday, they had a nice little dip, so I actually picked up some Activision Blizzard stock on Friday. And I picked them up on the dip, and then they actually went up 1%. So right now I'm actually up on my Activision Blizzard stock, which is kind of funny because there was such a big, you know, dip for the tech sell-off. But they actually like rallied up just a little bit. They kind of went up 1%. So I'm up like 1% on my Activision. But yeah, I really like that stock. And for the week, they are down 2.72%. In 1 month's time, up 4%. 3 months' time, up 18%. And then year to date, they are up 61%. All right, so next up is GoPro. And GoPro is a stock that I like, especially for those cheaper stocks. And their last earnings call, they actually did pretty well. And if they have a couple more earning calls that, you know, they come out with decent numbers, I think that investors could start to trust GoPro again, and I could see the stock kind of going up again. So hopefully that happens. And I do have some shares of GoPro. For the week, they are down 0.48%. In 1 month's time, they're down 2%. 3 months, they're up 5%. But then year to date, they're down 4%. Next up is Amazon. Amazon recently passed the $1,000 per share mark, but they just got knocked back down because of the Friday tech sell-off. I think they went down more than 3% on Friday. And they were up a little bit for the week, so that kind of you know, negated itself, and then ended up being down 2.82% for the week. In 1 month's time, Amazon is up 2%. 3 months' time, up 15%. Year to date, up around 30%. I still really like Amazon. I think they're a beast. I think they're taking out other businesses left and right. And I really just see them as a long-term play. I think that they're fairly valued at above $1,000 per share. That's my opinion. But I do think that they're a really good stock. And they may not be producing as high of gains as some other stocks, but they're also not as risky as some other stocks, in my opinion. So anyway, that's Amazon. Next up is Apple. Apple, I recently talked about Apple in my last video, and I was talking about how they were having issues with Qualcomm and the download speeds of the modem chip because Apple was like throttling it and stuff. And I actually ended up saying megabytes instead of megabits, and I meant to say megabits. And one of you guys corrected me, so thank you for correcting me, because sometimes I do so much research on these videos, and then like my brain gets fried, and then by the time I get up on camera, I say dumb things. But anyway, thanks for catching that. And yeah, it's definitely megabits. I meant to say megabits. So Apple for the week, they are down 4.16%. I actually do think that they deserved a little bit of a dip because of that news with Qualcomm and stuff. For the month, they are down around 5%. 3 months, they are up 7%. And then year to date, they are up 29%. I could see Apple still doing well towards the end of the year. When the iPhone 8 comes out, there's a lot of hype behind it. So I could see them still, pulling it off here at the end of the year, maybe doing a little bit better. Now, Google is the next stock, and I definitely like Google, especially for a longer term play. It's more of a safe stock in my opinion. I really like Google, and I think that they are the future in a lot of ways. For the week, they are down because of the Friday tech sell-off. I believe they were down more than 3% on Friday. And for the week, they're down 2.64%. In 1 month's time, they're up 2%. 3 months up 13%. And then year to date, they are up 23%. Next up is Facebook. For the week, they are down 2.61%. I believe they were down more than 3% on Friday. And 1 month's time, they are down 0.5%. 3 months up 8%, and year to date up 30%. So still doing pretty well overall. Yeah, I've never really invested in Facebook, but anyway. Next up is Netflix. Netflix is a stock that some people love, some people hate. I think that they're doing some good stuff with their shows, and they've got a few good things going on with like Marvel shows and stuff like that. And there are some rumors of some Star Wars shows. But anyway, for the week, they are down 4.33%. I believe on Friday they were down more than 3%. In 1 month's time, they are down 2%. 3 months up 12%. And then year to date up 28%. Okay, next up is Snapchat. And Snapchat is a stock that I do own some shares in, and I do like Snapchat a lot, but a lot of people hate them and they haven't been performing too well. So for the week, they are down 14.27%. So that's a pretty big amount. They're down for the week. In 1 month's time, down 6%, 3 months down 18%, and yeah, year to date would be the same. So next up is Shopify. Shopify is a stock that I really like, but they were priced fairly high. So now it's nice that they've had a little bit of a dip. I would like to see them drop a little more before I invest in them, just my own opinion. But I do like a lot of stuff that they're doing. It's definitely a good stock, but I just feel like they're just a little expensive right now. But for the week, they are down 6.23%. In 1 month's time, down 2%. 3 months, they are down 43%, or 3 months time, they are up 43%. And then year to date, up 113%. So some massive numbers there. In 3 months, last 3 months, up 42%. That's pretty crazy, guys. That's a pretty large number. Next up is Wynn. Wynn is my favorite hotel resort stock. I like what they're doing in Macau. I like some of the different things that they have planned. For the week, they are down though 3.78%. 1 month's time, they are up 3%. 3 months up 30%, and then year to date up 50%. So still doing very well for Wynn. Intel is next up. They have the 18-core chip coming out, which is going to be competing with AMD's Threadripper. And the thing is, though, that it's priced at $2,000, I believe, and that's pretty expensive because I think the Threadripper is going to be much cheaper than that. So in my case, I'm going to be picking up the Threadripper because it's so much cheaper, but that 18-core chip could be pretty powerful. So we'll have to see what happens there. For the week, they are down 1.68%. 1 month's time up 0.5%. 3 months down 0.5%, and then year to date down around 2%. Nvidia, I believe they were down around 7% on Friday. So I'm sorry, guys, if some of you are invested in Nvidia. I know some of you are. So I feel bad for you guys. I'm sorry, but they're still doing very well across the board. They're still green across the board. So hopefully you guys have still made some profit on it. For the week, they were already up. So then the Friday sell-off kind of counteracted that, and they still ended up being up 4.15% for the week. And I like what Nvidia is doing with, they make the chip for the Nintendo Switch. I like what they're doing with Tesla. They have a bunch of other stuff, obviously, but Nvidia is not a bad stock. I just feel like they're a little expensive, at least for me right now. But for the month, up 17%, 3 months, up 51%, and then year to date, up 40%. So Nvidia has been doing very well. Tesla is next. So Tesla, for the week, they were actually up already. And then on Friday, I believe they dropped more than 3%. So that kind of balanced out there. And for the week, they ended up being up 5.14% because they were up already so much. In 1 month's time, up 10%, 3 months up 47%, and then year to date up 67%. That is pretty high there, guys. Electronic Arts is next. For the week, they are down 3.55%. Electronic Arts is actually presenting probably right now by the time you're watching this video because they're presenting Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific time at E3. And they'll be talking about FIFA, probably Madden. They'll definitely be talking about Star Wars Battlefront, and then there's rumors that they may talk about another Star Wars game, so could be very interesting. We'll definitely have to see how it affects the stock, but with the Friday tech sell-off, everything's kind of out of whack, so we'll have to see how that affects it. In 1 month's time, they're up 1%, 3 months up 23%, year to date up 40%, so still doing very well. But in my opinion, Activision is my favorite gaming stock right now. Take-Two is up next. Take-Two, they have Rockstar, and they published Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. They did announce a delay in Red Dead Redemption, and so we'll have to see how that kind of affects them. But for the week, they are down 3.03%, and I don't believe that they're announcing anything at E3, but I could be wrong. And for the month, they are up 11%, 3 months up 28%, and then year to date up 53%. All right, next up is Microsoft, and Microsoft will be presenting at E3, I believe, on Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, and they will be talking about the Xbox Scorpio, which should be very interesting. They're saying that it's going to be the most powerful gaming console in history, and I'm really curious to see what the price will be, because if it's really premium price, very expensive price, then it may target more of a niche market, more hardcore gamers, hardcore console gamers. But the general public, I don't know. Sony has really been destroying Microsoft with the PlayStation, but I am a huge Xbox fan, so I'm hoping that it does well. But we'll have to wait and see exactly what they announce. And then Microsoft overall, they're doing a bunch of other things. They're doing a lot of stuff with clouds and web services and stuff like that. They have a lot of really good stuff going on. But for the week, they are still down, and I believe they were down more than 3% on Friday. So they're down 2.01% for the week. In 1 month's time, they are up 3%, 3 months up 8%, and then year to date, they are up 13%. All right, last one here, guys, Sony. So Sony is presenting on Monday at E3, and I really hope that they don't announce a PlayStation Portable. I will never buy your stock if you announce a PlayStation Portable. I would be so mad because that would really hurt my Nintendo stock, but hopefully they don't. They will probably just be announcing a bunch of games, and they usually do very well at E3. So we'll have to see how they do, but they usually do very well at E3. And for the week, they are down 2.07%. In 1 month's time, up 4%, 3 months up 17%, and then year to date up 32%. All right, last up here, guys, I just want to mention a couple financial and energy stocks, and I could just go through these very quickly. JP Morgan Chase on Friday, they were up 2.37%, and for the week, up around 5%, so very good. Bank of America on Friday, they were up 3.05%. For the week, up around 5.5%, around there. Goldman Sachs on Friday, they were up 1.68%. For the week, they were up 4.28%, and then year to date, they're still down 7.1%. Chevron, so now we're talking about energy. Chevron on Friday, they were up 2.31%, and for the week, they were up around 3%, and then year to date, they're still down 9.6%. ExxonMobil is the last one here, and on Friday, they were up 1.87%. For the week, they're up 3.31%, and then year to date, they're still down around 9%. So anyway, there could be a little bit of a rotation going on. We'll have to wait and see. Next week should be very interesting, guys. Monday and next week should be very interesting. I'm very curious to see how these stocks are affected, but I like dips. I like to take advantage of them, and I like to pick up more stock. That's just me, though. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying that's my own opinion. And I definitely invest with money that I don't need, and I do more longer term investments. At least I try to. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you are new, please subscribe. If you like the video, hit the like button. And if you hate the video, then use reverse psychology on me and hit the like button, and then I'll think that you hate it. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful day. Take care.